Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we have to talk about Jonathan Kuminga because they say pressure makes diamonds. And this whole season, the Warriors have been in the media cycle, and the pressure's been put on Kuminga, especially since he did not sign an extension before the season. And he basically is betting on himself as he wanted over $30 million a year. So let's just talk about that. How the Golden State Warriors got a big win, in my opinion, over the Phoenix Suns, as Jonathan Kuminga had a career-tying 34-point performance. And I think this win reflects the Warriors' ability to rise to the occasion and that their players can show up for critical moments. And Kuminga, for example, had a great game without Curry and Draymond the game before. Curry and Draymond come back, and Kuminga's still able to have another consistent performance. One guy I want to say is an unsung hero. Andrew Wiggins has evolved into a playmaker that I never saw coming. I think Andrew Wiggins is having an underrated year. I just want to hear your thoughts on that one. But this will be a video about Kuminga and the Warriors as a whole. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think Kuminga should be re-signed, signed and traded? What do you expect for the Warriors this year? Hit that like and subscribe button for more content like this. Go check out my work at hoopshype.com. Now, Jonathan Kuminga's standout performance was instrumental in this Warriors win, having 34 points, including those 2 clutch free throws in the final seconds, which not only gave the Warriors the lead, but tied a career high. Kuminga has demonstrated this year his growth as a versatile scorer, a guy who can play both forward positions as a combo forward. His athletic ability allows him to just drive into the lane with just downhill force, pull up in mid-range, and still be able to have some physicality, not only on the offensive end, but on the defensive end against guys like Kevin Durant. Obviously, Stephen Curry dropping 22 points and having that buzzer beater at halftime is going to be huge. And despite Phoenix hounding them defensively, Curry still is doing MVP-esque Curry things. And the Warriors held the Suns scoreless from the field in the final 6 or so minutes. And I think their late game ability on defense is something they should hang their hat on. Now, we all know Steve Kerr's motion offense has been unlocking this team, from Buddy Hield at the beginning of the year to, as we said, Andrew Wiggins. But Kuminga's breakout game this year, I think, is Steve Kerr finally developing a system fit for him to thrive off of off-ball cuts, play within the quick transitions on offense to kickstart the fast breaks, and really allowing Jonathan Kuminga to use his athleticism, which allows the Warriors to exploit mismatches, particularly when he plays alongside Steph Curry, who's going to demand a bunch of defensive attention. And Kerr's defensive strategy also deserves praise, I think. Using guys like Gary Payton II and Trace Jackson Davis, Draymond Green have been a winning combination. Same thing with Andrew Wiggins. And Kuminga hasn't been the turnstile defensively that he had been in years past. So I think their depth this year has helped them with their defensive intensity, especially in the clutch. And the Warriors are, as they enter tonight, ranked 16th in scoring with 112 points per game. But I think they continue to show that as a team in the clutch, where they now lead the league in 21 such games. Their 1.5 net points per game ranks 13th, and their sign of their competitive edge, despite their record showing them just above 500. I think Jonathan Kuminga is averaging 16 points, back-to-back 30-point games, just show that he can consistently rise to the occasion when they need. We've said this before, that something that had been holding back the Warriors for a while was a consistent, bona fide 20-point per game score. And if Kuminga can be that guy, they have Andrew Wiggins, who was the second best player during that championship run in 2022. They just traded for Dennis Schroeder. Curry's playing MVP ball with almost 23 points and 7 assists a night. As I said, Wiggins is dropping 17 points a night on almost 43% from 3, next to Curry and Kuminga. And them being the 4th best 3-point shooting team in the league has, yes, been sometimes a double-edged sword, as they kind of ride or die with the 3, and they are the worst free throw shooting team in terms of their percentage at 70%. So it's not like getting to the line have been helping them. And those, I think getting Dennis Schroeder is going to help them, as well as like having injuries to guys like B-Pod and Dennis Schroeder still figuring it out, is why having Jonathan Kuminga have a performance like this is huge, especially with Kuminga's emergence this year. Maybe he can solidify himself as a current cornerstone in the future. Pairing him with Curry, Wiggins, Kuminga would solidify their forward positions next to Draymond Green and Trace Jackson Davis. Really, that's not really bad, especially with Buddy Hield averaging 13 points, 41% from the field, and Gary Payton still being so much efficient. And the Warriors are a team that they're middle of the pack in terms of rebounding with Kevon Looney, Draymond Green, and Trace Jackson Davis with 47 rebounds a night. But the Warriors' victory over the Suns is just, I think, a testament of their adaptability, their depth, and the rotation starting to be figured out. Kuminga rising to the occasion, they need him to, and them being a better team. What do you guys think as we continue to go through the season? Yes, we're only 30 games, but it's almost the halfway mark for the year. And I think this is something that, like, hey guys, let's start to take notice. Okay, let's not just act like it's a going to be all pixies and roses, because currently this is a team that, as we've said before, they're not in the top of the West. They're still fighting. And there's a lot of other teams that are still fighting. For example, if you look at the NBA in the West right now, I feel like the West is the most complicated. Especially you see a coach like Mike Brown lose the locker room. And that was a team that was only 2 games behind the 10th seed when that happened. The Warriors are currently 10th seed, but they're basically tied for the 8th seed, 1 game behind the 6th seed. So they're in the thick of things. This can really turn around and be a year that goes from people complaining. Well, it started off odd, then people were complaining, to, I think people could buy back in and see that, yes, this is a deeper squad than they've had in recent years. So I think it's time to look at it and be like, I think also Warriors fans are just, they have high standards for their basketball team, as, let's be honest, they have the right to do that. They've won a lot in the last few years, and or the last decade, let's be honest. And I don't know why I said be honest multiple times, and whenever we say phrases in multiple chains, I always feel like I've just ruined the word. But at the same time, like, when you have a guy like Jim Park lose his shit over Steve Kerr's coaching decisions, I understand being frustrated and having a standard for your team. But at the same time, let's have some patience and understand that Rome wasn't built in one day. And if they can eke out a 5th championship with this squad, first off, that would be very impressive. Mike Dunleavy should be commended for, like, or be exec of the year if he did that for multiple years in a row, bro. Just for doing that, honestly, if he can achieve that. And this is where I want to hear your guys' opinion as we end near the end of the video. What is your guys' expectations for this Warrior squad? And is there a concern in your mind? Like, is there something that has to be addressed before you can take this team more serious? Or are you feeling good as a Dubs fan? That's definitely where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. It's definitely going to be interesting as the season progresses. And if Kuminga remains, I think how this year plays out will dictate if Kuminga ends up being a Warrior a long time or not. But that's it. I think I've rambled enough and filled your ears with nonsense. So I appreciate every single one of you. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good jazz. Till next time, guys. Peace out.